Hello, friend. How are you today? We are going to have a really interesting conversation about the moon. So, the moon really does, it pulls us up into our lives. The moon helps, is the counterbalance to the gravity that we have on Earth. Without the moon, well, we would just be a black hole because there would just be this implosion. We'd get sucked right into Earth and done. But the moon actually, counterbalances that gravitational pull. And the moon is so very fascinating. It's the one celestial body that we see quite easily without a telescope or any of that kind of equipment. It's right there. We see it. The moon, we can see the power of it when it, high tide and low tide. And when it can pull the ocean and create this amazing movement of the water. It's doing the exact same thing to us. It's doing it to our blood pressure. It's doing it to, the water inside of our beings, because we're, mostly water, and actually we're mostly space, but it's a fascinating entity in our illusionary reality. So what I want to do is I just want to walk you through understanding what the moon does. So our variables, which are here and pointed to, the sun, earth, and the nodes. So the nodes are actually, they're not actually planetary placements. They are positioning aspects of our moon. So this whole setup right here, this is actually the command post. So the command post really, it organizes our performance. It's not providing any new input into the life. What it is doing, it is taking the input and it is actually organizing it and framing the process. So this is our command post. So we might pop back here just as we walk through so that it you can understand it a little better. So this is where we get the profile, which is this 1-3. So I'm a 1-3. This is where we get the incarnation cross. I come in on the cross of contagion. So it's really about speaking a message and creating a following. And, I don't even want to really say creating a following, but it's about spreading the message. It's about contagious, right? And really human design is what I am here to introduce to you and to spread to you and have it reverberate throughout the life. So, in my command post, when I look at my color and tone and line and gate and then my base, this is my command post. This is how I organize all the experiences that I have in my life. I organize it by composing it, by being of service. I organize it by being observed in a busy environment. So this is my organizational field. Like, how do I focus my perception? It's about focusing my perception. And it's about having a completely receptive mind. And my receptive mind and my focused perception is how I organize the range of my mind. So let's just move on here, and then if we want to pop back, if there's anything that channels through, I'll let you know. So the moon, the whole point of this is to say, you know, what does the moon do for us? What is this creation that happens through the moon? So the moon is actually our control mechanism. Okay? That control mechanism allows for all of the life experiences to be filtered through this beautiful light and then framed and organized in the command center. So the moon takes our focus of our mind and the gravity of the physical form, and it filters all of the experience through these two portals. And it then hands it over to the the command post, and the command post then frames it so that the life purpose can flow through the life experience. So if we didn't have the moon, there would be no life. There would be no movie. Okay? We really exist by the grace of the moon. You know, being able to say thank you to the moon for counterbalancing the gravitational law that happens on planet Earth. So what, again, the moon does is it conveys the life experience to the control mechanism, okay? Or to the command post, sorry, not to the control mechanism, to the command post. So we're going to move on, and then we'll probably backtrack just so that you can place this a little better. So right here in this, we call this the magic square. This is how you take in experience, okay? We're all having very unique experiences, but this is really this is how you're taking it in. This is how you're processing it. This is how you know, your mind is limited, the physicality is limited. And I know people in the spiritual realm are going to say there is no limitations, but there is. We are limited, and that's meant to be. That's meant to be, because we're here to have a finite amount of experiences through our own uniqueness. So the experiences that we're having on the mundane and on the transcendent, you know, these experiences create our awareness. So then what happens is these experiences then get put through the moon, put through the energetic of the moon. So this is kind of the filtration. And then the command post is how we frame it. You know, so I frame it just as a, you know, simplistic, really simplistic example. The stimulus that takes place for me in my mind, that stimulating growth, that corrective pattern that I see, is then filtered up into the moon, and then I can influence by just trusting that the fates and, you know, my experiential way is going to be the contagion for my message, so that my contemplation in the now can influence my ability to be an authority in this contagion. So just a few quick keynoting, right? And letting it flow up into what the life purpose is, what the profile is. So if you really want to melt into seeing and then experiencing, right? Because human design is total candy for the mind. It's like, you know, it's a trip. It's really a trip. Because the minute that we can trust and surrender, our authority to our consciousness, and the mind is no longer the decision-making tool. All of this beautifully just is filtered. It is channeled, whatever you want to say, it just happens. But the minute that the not self mind gets in the way, oh, yikes. Measures, you know, tells you that, you know, you're not good enough. Goes on and on and on. And we're going to have conversations about money and how that works, and how the 7-centered being is still trying to hold on. We're 9-centered beings. We are built to have a cognitive experience, an aware experience. We're built for that as 9-centered beings. This isn't about running around being fearful. That was the 7-centered agenda. But guess what's happening? That energetic is still happening today. Even though, you know, the transition from 7-centered to 9-centered happened in 1781. That old paradigm is still trying to hold on. So you're built to resonate to certain experiences. And you're designed to uniquely experience that situation through your being. It's totally unique. So if this is something that intrigues you, I have coaching packages that can walk you through all of this information. And those coaching packages that I have on my website they're generic. We can definitely tweak those. So what are the benefits to knowing this information? So you get to know the mundane and the transcendent aspects of the life. We are meant to be human. We're meant to, you know, whatever you want to say. Chop wood, carry water. I don't know. But we're meant to have those mundane experiences in a transcendent life. So what the beauty of this is that you begin to see life very uniquely, very uniquely. You're already seeing it uniquely, but in a completely different way, where the mind isn't engorged in the not self, where the mind is actually the passenger in the experiment. You know, this meat suit is rented. It's not yours. So you don't have to be possessive about it. Love it. Treat it well, whatever that means to you. And then you get to experience the movie. Because the disrepair turns into repair. The body can repair. When you're living a life through what we call strategy and authority and type. And then we get to honor our children. and allow their strategy and authority and type to shine. You know, it's about gracefully moving through life. Yes, you're going to have challenges. I say this all the time. Human design isn't about rainbows and sunshine and blah, blah, blah. It's about being able to meet whatever comes to you because you're operating from the authenticity of self. So again, with the coaching packages, just a outline of what each one is on my website at www.powerofself.ca. But again, coaching is a unique experience for each one of us. So maybe only little bits, pieces of this intrigue you, and there is a whole portion of the career and the entrepreneurial piece that might intrigue you. We can mesh, meld, whatever, and we'll just listen to what the consciousness field is indicating to us. So the moon is something that we can say thank you to and appreciate. And I am today, this is January 3rd. I am recording this actually, and I think I'm going to post it tomorrow. But keep an eye out for the January 5th posting, because this is going to be a fun experience on January 5th, 2019. And I will tell you why. All right. Thank you. Take care. Enjoy your experience and your experiment.